This election is on track to break all spending records. It could likely cost several $billions. By the end of last year, presidential campaigns and outside groups supporting them raised more than $600 million. Between the candidates, super PACs, party committees, and political action committees, that number is going to explode, funded in part from donors. But with all those groups asking for money, it can be confusing. Julianna Goldman is in Washington with a CBS News investigation that reveals why it's important for donors to do their homework. Julianna, good morning.
Good morning. Well, behind every political solicitation, there's an entire industry of consultants who hunt for donors, but sometimes very few dollars actually make it to specific candidates. Now, this technically isn't illegal because, believe it or not, there is no law requiring PACs to spend money on election-related purposes.
A lot of the people were older.
Christina Zubik and CJ Forehand were paid on commission to call conservative voters.
35, 50, 75, 100, 500, 1,000, whatever. And whatever you felt like you could work out of them.
They worked for this Milwaukee-based telemarketing firm called American Liberty Group. Public records show it was paid $400,000 by a political action committee called Conservative Strike Force. Zubik says one caller told her he was dying of cancer, so she asked her supervisor for guidance.
And he said, well, why didn't you tell him that this is an opportunity to give one last big donation?
To give one last big donation before he dies?
Yes.
American Liberty also solicited money for veterans on behalf of Conservative Strike Force. CBS News obtained this script saying, "Can Strike Force count on your support of our veterans during these important times?" But we couldn't find any money going to veterans' causes. We looked at federal records and found since 2011, Conservative Strike Force and other PACs raised over $33 million, largely from Republican retirees. Yet only 8% actually went to the causes they claimed to support. The rest went to a group of companies who used those donations to make more money. Is it a scam?
Oh, no question. You just can't say an organization out there that's spending 95% of its money just to raise more money and never has any intention of doing the things it's telling the people that it's talking to that it will do. You can't call that anything else.
Former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli was the 2013 Republican candidate for governor. Conservative Strike Force used Cuccinelli's name in their fundraising pitches without his approval. He says they made false promises to voters, so he sued them.
Literally, they listed 11 things. We're going to do phone calls. We're going to do radio ads. We're going to do television ads. And they didn't do any of those things.
So when donors give to Conservative Strike Force, where does the money go? The PAC, as well as 6 others, all have the same treasurer, a man named Scott McKenzie. They also have the same address, P.O. Box 806 at this UPS store in Northern Virginia. As treasurer, McKenzie paid himself consulting fees, and he directed over $500,000 to one company where he was a strategic partner.
Scott McKenzie is paid to be the treasurer of all these different PACs.
McKenzie wouldn't speak on camera and says he doesn't have any current ties to the vendors. He says as treasurer for a total of 25 PACs, he takes all the heat for decisions that other people make. Already in this election cycle, Donald Trump asked McKenzie to shut down his unauthorized group, Patriots for Trump. McKenzie says he will comply. In the meantime, this former telemarketer in Milwaukee had some advice.
Don't give anything over the phone. If you want to support something, go to the website of that organization that you want to support. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my part in that.
Christina and CJ both quit because they felt uncomfortable with what was happening. We asked McKenzie about the calls for veterans' causes, and he says they were test calls and says no money was raised. Christina says she verified payments but doesn't remember how much. Now, Nora, already in 2016, some of McKenzie's PACs have reported spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, largely from contacting voters across the country.
Wow, this is quite an investigation, really disturbing. So, Julianna, did you find, are these limited to conservatives, or does this also happen on the left, too?
So while these kinds of scams are most prevalent on the right, it's not limited to conservative causes. Bernie Sanders' campaign sent a cease and desist letter to a man running a PAC and using Sanders' name. Now, Nora, that man is also treasurer to 8 other PACs.
All right. Julianna, thank you so much.